Who's tough enough? Strong enough? Powerful enough to protect the National Hockey League? New Speed Stick Ultimate with antibacterial odor protection. Kills odor, protects guys.
Today,
in the Atlantic Fleet,
on board USS Enterprise, character was forged. Valor was commended. Minds were
were enlightened.
Lessons were learned. Fears were
Fears were conquered.
Worlds were discovered.
Honor was defined.
Courage was found.
Commitment was sealed.
Today on board USS Enterprise,
Over 5,000 journeys began anew.
what did you do?
What did you do today?
Call 1-800-USA-Navy. Let the journey begin.
1-0 Caps over the Bruins. This is the New Dodge Intermission Report. John Saunders and Barry Melrose. We'll discuss more on that game in a moment. But the other one underway between the Devils and the Senators. This perhaps the biggest surprise in the playoffs thus far this year. New Jersey, the best team in the East. Ottawa, number 8. And Martin Brodeur, a scary moment there. Comes up grabbing his leg. He went off but would come back. Then Sean Van Allen gets stoned by the post. Still no score. And then Jersey causes a turnover. This is killing a penalty. Peterson takes a nice feed, goes in on Rhodes. Goes to the forehand, beats him cleanly, 1-0. Then Rhodes comes up big as the Devils try to go up by 2 goals, stopping Doug Bodger, and it allows his team, Barry, to get back and tie this thing.
Always after a big save, something good happens. You see Scott Stevens, one of the best defensemen ever played, try a cross-ice pass. Elvis gobbles it up, throws a nice little pass off the far post, and it's a goal.
This one is tied at 1 apiece. Ottawa, each of their 2 wins in this series have come in overtime. In New Jersey, they lost their last 4 road playoff games, and one of the reasons they are struggling against Ottawa, New Jersey, is because of Ottawa's forecheck.
Ottawa's got a lot of speed on this team, and what's happening now with the obstruction rules being called, teams are forechecking the big teams. Philadelphia's having problems. New Jersey's having problems. You see the puck go into the end zone here. Now, remember, in '95, Dackel would have just been picked up by Andrechuk. He wouldn't have been able to forecheck. Niedermeyer would go behind the net, stop. Nice breakout play to be out of their zone. Not so now with the obstruction rule. Dackel forechecks. Right there, Lambert goes over, forechecks Arnott. Now they're attacking again. Van Allen is high, ready to pick up the slot area right there. 2 men forechecking. The defensemen again are out, ready to jump into the play also. Very aggressive situation here. Had to get that in for Ottawa. Right here you see a puck turned over. This is new. This isn't what New Jersey's used to. A tall defense move in, attacking all the time, throw it at the net, and they get a goal-scoring chance. But with the obstruction rules being called, those big bodies aren't able to block out the little Senator players, so to speak, and now they're getting in and forechecking. So the big players don't have the advantage they once had with the new rules.
And you're seeing almost the exact same situation in the series between Buffalo and Philadelphia.
Exact same thing. The Buffalo team is very fast. They're using that speed to create turnovers. They're getting in foot races with the bigger Philadelphia players, and the smaller player are going to win those things. Right here we see it on the power play, shorthanded situation. The 2 Buffalo players take off up the ice. Leclerc, who's one of the fastest Philly players, can't catch Shannon. It's a goal. Right here, Ward is forechecking, creates a turnover. Terrible Philly defense, yes, but that speed is what created the turnover. Holzinger comes off the bench, beats his man up the ice, throws a great shot off the far post. Both big teams, New Jersey and Philadelphia, both teams are having trouble with the fast forechecking of the teams they're playing against. So they got to find a way to combat this speed, and they got to do it by getting a little bit more quickness of their own, a little bit more transition game of their own. But both teams don't play like that, so it's new for New Jersey and Philadelphia to run into this.
The smaller teams are the lower seeds, but they also have the lead in these series. And don't forget, tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern time, over on ESPN2, it's game number 4. Buffalo with a chance to take a commanding 3-1 lead back to Philadelphia. We'll have that one for you on the Deuce. When we come back, we're going to examine that crazy game last night in L.A. Larry Robinson's squad blew a 3-0 lead.
Tonight's intermission report is presented by the new Dodge. It's about change.
Honey, I'm going to run out and pick up some shoelaces.
Honey, I'm going to run out and pick up a lint roller. Hey, hon, what was I going to get?
Lint roller.
Oh, yeah.
Honey, I'm just going to run out and pick up our trophy.
This tight-handling 132-horsepower Dodge Neon you run errands in is the very same one the Sports Car Club of America runs races in. Dodge Neon. Now get $1,500 cash back or low financing.
Gary Sheffield, outstanding bat speed. Pull the ball with the best of them.
The secret to MLB 99's realism? Scouting reports straight from the pros.
Favorite cheese Gouda. Bobby Bonilla, weakness for fastballs in the dirt. Has a dog named Snacks.
That's impressive.
I knew that.
You drive a 71 Nova, make $22,000 a year, and you were a bedwetter.
Hey, better.
PlayStation. Wow, things have really changed since my dad used to walk me to school. It wasn't easy to find an open door to make my dreams come true. But here I am, working hard yesterday, working hard today. But what's important will never change. Family, friends, they'll always be here.
What's the matter, clown boy? You need to make a call, but you don't have the change. Cheer up, Spunky, there's a way. Just use 1-800-COLLECT. It's 10 cents a minute every evening. Saves a bundle of cash, you can talk longer, too. Go ahead, make some calls. That's great. Mine's 1-800-COLLECT. 10 cents a minute every evening.
What's my prize? Simple. To create a sports magazine readers love.
What's the word on Phil Jackson? Why is Jerry Krause breaking his horns? Dennis, Scotty, Michael, are they completely unstoppable or just totally unbeatable? And hockey, lots of hockey. Print it, baby.
Last night, the ninth time in playoff history, the team has rallied from down 3 goals in the final 11 minutes. Courtnall, you see, runs into Storr, and what do you see in this, Bear?
Well, Storr was ready for it. He dropped his shoulder a bit, but still Courtnall's not allowed free rein to run into a goaltending in that situation.
O'Donnell got 5 minutes. LePerrier and Courtnall offsetting penalties, so they go to the power play. McGinnis, Pascal Rayon puts the rebound home. Okay, it's 3-1. You still got the game, but Pronger with a shot. Campbell to Brett Hall. And it's 3-2. All right, we still got the lead. They're still on the power play. Then McGinnis again. Pierre Turgeon. All right, we gave up 3 goals, but it's still tied. But then the 4th goal goes in. Yates gets it, and Larry Robinson not happy.
Right, attempt to injure, runs our goaltender. Could have put him out of the game, and he gets a 2-minute for charging. It's just a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. Took the life out of a bunch of kids that worked their tails off.
The problem here is there's really 2 disgraces. I mean, the way Larry Robinson looks at it and his penalty-killing unit.
Yeah, the story of the game is not a bad call. The world's not a perfect place. You're not always going to get the right call. Whether this call is right or wrong, we'll find out. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is L.A. had a 3-goal lead at this time with only 7 minutes left in the game. Now, you're only killing a 5-minute power play off. They couldn't do it. As soon as that first goal went in, we saw the biggest meltdown we've seen since Chernobyl. L.A. lost everything they had. They lost their composure. They lost their discipline. They didn't compete. They were running around. They'd already killed off 5 power plays in St. Louis earlier in the game and killed them off great. Now, all of a sudden, they started panicking. They were running around. They didn't do their job. That's the story of this game. Blowing a 3-0 lead, giving up 4 goals in 1 power play is unbelievable. So Larry's got a few other problems besides that call by the referee.
Instead of looking at 2-1 with the next game at home, you're down 3-0. And this one is just about over. Don't forget the Blues and the Kings tomorrow night. St. Louis can try to pull off the sweep. That's at 10:30 Eastern time. We'll have that one for you right here on ESPN. Red Wings and Coyotes tonight at 10:30. Don't forget, that one's coming along.
When the 150 peak horsepower, tight-handling Neon RT makes a move, the rest of the world has a tough time just keeping up. Dodge Neon. Now get $1,500 cash back or low financing.
This summer, if you are looking for danger, excitement, and adventure, X marks the spot. The X Games, a Taco Bell production.
Please rise for our anthem. Gorditas, gorditas, tacos, those are we, whose lives are blessed. To warm flat bread, your salsas make us free. Gorditas.
Bless you, Taco Bell.
Let's go eat one now.
He never let me wear the mask.
to stop Rod Brindamore, goaltender Lee Worley turns to a life of crime.
What are you in for?
Brindamore.
Nice man.
I couldn't stop him!
He came in so strong, get him off.
Stick save! Football! Stick save! God!
Thanks for coming, Tom.
No problem, kid. Keep your catching glove up.
I couldn't stop him!
Let me wear the mask.
No.
More of the New Dodge intermission report to the NBA playoffs. Pat Riley back in New York City in the playoffs, this time coaching the Heat. Of course, Charlie Ward with a nice entry to Allen Houston. He grabs it. Houston had 18 points in the first quarter, but Miami comes back.
Right there, John Rogie. Vashon Leonard takes a pass from Hardaway. A long three-pointer, 14 points for him in the first.
Rogie, Vashon pulling out goalies from the pass.
I love goalies.
Houston more with a jumper from the outside, but the Heat have the lead, and the Capitals have the lead. The second period is coming up.
Most of us have had some kind of credit problem in our lifetime. It's nice to know there are people like Lustine Toyota Dodge in Woodbridge that can help with credit problems like divorces, bankruptcy, repossession, or no credit. When I called the Lustine Credit Hotline, I was treated with respect. And now I've reestablished my credit. Thank you, Lustine Toyota. P.S. I love my new Toyota.
Lustine Toyota Dodge. Call 800-609-DEAL. We'll help you reestablish your credit.
Being in the right place at the right time. That's what news is all about. That's why the people of NBC News are always there for you on MSNBC.
It's NBC News, 24 hours a day. The right place for breaking news.
The headlines.
The right time, whenever you need it. The new leader in cable and internet news is MSNBC.
Then wait! Wait!
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Molson Ice, an adventure in every beer. By MasterCard, MasterCard, the official card of the NHL. And by the new Dodge, it's about change.
Watch the Capitals leading in this series 2-1 and leading in this game by a score of 1-0. Welcome back to Boston as we get set for the second period. Gary Thorne and Bill Clement.
And for the Boston Bruins in the first period, it was, here we go again. Look at this, 47 first-period shots in this series for the Bruins without a goal. Now, they will get stronger because they've got the younger legs, but they haven't been able to master Olaf Kolzig. From a Bruins standpoint, they've only got 3 even-strength goals in over 12 periods in this series, and they were 0 for 3 on their power play. If they don't score on their power play, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to beat Kolzig even strength.
This Boston team, the huge improvement from the year before, the most improved team in the NHL by 30 points. But against Washington, really struggling to get the offense going. Boston during the regular season ended up 12th in offense. Washington was 10th in D. Don Chard the other way. Don Chard dropped it, tried to. Down low, knocked away. Bellows, the intended, as he was coming through the middle. Gonchar came back to get it. Axelson was on him, and that's going to be chased in offside by Tim Taylor. We're underway here in the second period. 1 goal up on the board, and it came in the first.
And it was a couple of ex-Bruins that teamed up for it, the same guys that ended Game 3 in double overtime, Juneau and Oates. Joey Juneau made this whole thing happen. There he goes. Nice hit on Darren Van Impe to bump him off the play. And then with Van Impe out of the play, it took him a while to get out front to get to Adam Oates. So Juneau with a huge assist for a couple of reasons there, and a great finish by Adam Oates.
16-10, the time of the goal. Oates and Joey Juneau. And the lead time that Washington has had the huge advantage with continues. Since that goal came at 16:10, they'll continue to run up that lead time here in this series. Washington had only one power play in that first period and did not convert on it. McLaren held it in. Kristich had it. McLaren had it knocked away to center. Chase down on the far side and sent up ice or attempted by Nicholas. Kristich will take it back. Dimitri Kristich dropped it off in the near side boards. Nowhere to go but to Kristich at center. He ran into Simon. Up on the far side, Pavanka. Michael Pavanka, the veteran of this team, will move it in. Pavanka, Simon, and Nicolasian on this line. Shot hit the outside of the net and off the goal stick. Nicolasian again. That deflected to the near side. Simon, near side, knocked down, trying to hold it in, came to the blue. Kicked out of there, but Nicolasian came back to get it to Mark Tenorti. Tenorti, Nicolasian in his own end. Washington changing up behind the play. Simon had it tipped away. Came to Ledyard. Ledyard back in the middle. Boston trying to create it at center, but can't connect on those passes to get it going. That'll be a two-line pass right there against Washington. Take a look at our Molson Ice league leaderboard here. The most face-offs taken in a season. Primo, 2,179. Messier, Sundin, and Adam Oates, who's playing in this game. That's a lot of bending over.
Adam Oates in Game 3. There were 105 face-offs in that double overtime game here on Sunday. Adam Oates took 48 of those face-offs, won 29 of them. And he is the sixth best face-off guy in the NHL. He finished number 6 overall.
Face-off will come just inside the Washington line. We tried to show you Adam Oates in line with what we were just talking about, and we've discovered he's not here. He's not on the bench, and he's not on the ice, so we'll find out where Adam Oates is. Face-off inside the blue line will be tipped away on the win by Craig Berube. Washington on the dump in from center. Wide to the corner. Hunter right off the blocker that time of Byron Defoe. Lee puts the hit on, so does Berube. Cleared around far side by Dave Ellett. Washington clearly told during that first intermission, guys, you got out hit. As they've come out here in this second period, already hitting harder than they did in the first. And out of the zone.
And we still don't see Boston's speed in the neutral zone. We only saw it a couple of times in the first period. There's Brendan Witt stepping up on people right in their face. And if you back up, that's when Boston gets their speed going.
That's what Washington's not doing. Has not done so far in this game. So they create turnovers. Witt back in his own end. Bruins changing it up with the fly. Shots 14-8 in favor of Boston. Only one shot here for the first 2.5 minutes so far. Ooh, what a haul down by Dave Ellett. Ellett got the big hook in, covered up by Defoe, and the wraparound chance by Todd Krieger. But Ellett, the veteran, really got the stick up, and he's going to go. Power play coming.
And Dave Ellett doesn't get a lot of ice time. He's going to have to try and stay out of the penalty box if he wants to continue. Todd Krieger really had him beat there, but he wasn't going anywhere except into the corner to retrieve the puck. I guess the worst-case scenario, Krieger centers it out front, but you can see there's not a cap out in front. It would have gone right out to a couple of Bruins.
Dave Ellett out of there. Power play for the Caps. Our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Deuce. Tomorrow, the Flyers and the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo, where the Sabres have a 2-1 lead in that series. 10:30, the St. Louis Blues and the Kings. The Blues could wrap it up with a victory. That will be on ESPN tomorrow. Penalty here will give the third power play of the game to the Caps, and Adam Oates had a skate sharpened. That's why he wasn't out there.
Boy, the power plays have been hard to come by for the Washington Caps. They've had 11 power plays to Boston's 24.
They get one here with a 1-0 lead. Kelly Johansson. Johansson, the one-timer, deflected in, shot, the post, score! Adam Oates reaching in for the rebound. And for the 4th time in 4 games, the Washington Capitals have a 2-0 lead.
Pat Burns knows it, too. We talked about it this morning, so we can't go down 2-0 and win this series. Byron Defoe was kind of left by himself. Adam Oates' side of the net. It looked like just kind of a little redirection. There wasn't much steam on this puck as it trickled over the goal line. But Adam Oates doesn't need a lot on it. That was a good play by Brian Bellows to tie Ray Bourque up in front, but then Bourque and his defense partner both stepped up. You know, just a little redirection between the pads of Byron Defoe. Calle Johansson, a good decision to shoot, but Hal Gill had stepped up and allowed Adam Oates behind him, and I think the fact that the puck was deflected really put Gill in a bad spot because it bounced over his stick. It looked like it was alive coming to Adam Oates, and he finished it off. 2 goals tonight, 2-0 lead.
And Capitals with a former Boston Bruin doing the damage here, Adam Oates. And that is a power play goal for the 2-0 lead. Shot back in wide by Miller, played by Defoe, up the near side. Back in on Defoe, and another save. Backhand shot on Defoe, and deflected to the near side off Kelly Miller again. Two good chances for Kelly Miller, who's not had a goal in 11 games. Almost had one on 2 occasions there. Back is Grant Ledger. Now the Bruins having trouble clearing the zone.
And Pat Burns has come right back with his rookie Joe Thornton. I mean, that's a real interesting call to put him out there after they go down 2-0.
Thornton wearing number 6, the 19-year-old who had such a tough year with high expectation. He centers Ray Bourque, who moves in, and Bourque got caught off ice. Miller took it away. Bourque racing back and trying to cover ground here, and will have the advantage on the whistle of maybe too many men on the ice. The linesman, I believe, helped make this call. Oates the goal, 2:42. Johansson and Housley the assists.
Good day, eh? As you can see, me and my brother has a taste for real adventure, eh? Oh no, we lost one! What an idiot! Good sheer, whoa! Here. No way! You're just trying to slow me down! I got it!
Oh, something for the grandkids?
The hell they are. I'm training for the Stanley Cup, baby.
The MasterCard $1 Million Stanley Cup shot. Win a shot at the goal and at $1 million live during Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Put it on my MasterCard, Sonny.
To enter, just use your MasterCard between now and May 3rd.
One shot. $1 million. Shoot! I'm psyched.
Caps here, but the Bruins are going in the power play. Kelly Miller was going off for a line change. Brian Bellows was the guy that was coming on for him. He motioned the bench. Miller did. And you'll see right here, Brian Bellows jumped on the ice right there. Kelly Miller is not off the ice when Brian Bellows intentionally plays the puck. And that's the way the rule reads. Bang. Miller is still not off the ice. So Brian Bellows has to sit in the sin bin. Ron Wilson sent him over to serve it. And a couple of those have been called in the playoffs. The linesmen are being real strict with that, and that is the letter of the law.
3:42, time of the call. 4th power play of the game for Boston. They're 0 for 3 in this game. 4 for 24 in the playoffs. They've got a power play, and they're down 2-0. But this number 1 penalty-killing unit of the Washington Capitals has denied them opportunities here in this game by clearing the zone. Ray Bourque got the blue, dumped it into the corner. Allison had to turn around to get it. Allison tied up behind the net. Samsonov came over to help, but they couldn't control it. And Oates will feather that one down the length of the ice. The Capitals change up with their penalty-killing unit. This Washington team scored 14 short-handed goals during the regular season. They're dangerous there as well. Good move to Kristich. Open shot, save! As the defense just opened wide, so Olaf Krolzig could see the shot. He made the save. Back on top to Bourque. Bourque to Ledger. Washington challenging the puck. Allison. His shot through a screen. Right there is Krolzig. Hangs on for another save. John Saunders.
Gary Newdodge takes us back out to Ottawa, where the Devils still having problems putting the puck in the net. Christophe Ouloir goes in, makes the move to the backhand. Big save. Still 1-1.
Obviously a huge game there with Ottawa a chance to go up 3-1 as the Caps, same chance they've got here.
Yep, Devils aren't the only team having trouble putting the puck in the net. Olaf Krolzig, I don't believe, saw this shot. But you see how it hit him, and then he kind of found it visually when he looked down. And that's what this guy is about, and that's why he took exception with the Bruins saying, hey, we're hitting him. He is technically in perfect position on every shot.
And so big. There's not much to shoot at even when he's down in that butterfly. And again, cleared out of the zone. Kalle Johansson got it up. 54 seconds remaining on this Boston power play. The Bruins trailing by a score of 2-0. Adam Oates. Both goals in this game, including the power play goal in the second at 2:42, and the 4-on-4 goal at 16:10 of the first. Ray Bourque. Bourque has to dump it down low, swung behind the net. Anson Carter couldn't get it. Ledger came over. Deegan tried to clear it, couldn't do it. Hines held it in. Ledyard holds it into Hines. Hines, look where this puck's being played. Nowhere near a short chance. Ray Bork once. Bork tied up, drops it. Carter behind the net. Allison looking. Wanted to get it up to Ledyard, but hit the side of the net with the pass, and it's cleared out.
And he hit a bunch of it, Gary. I mean, he's got great hands and great vision. That's not like Jason Allison. He really misfired on that pass.
Boston may be gripping those sticks a little too hard right now. Brought in by Ray Bork. Penalty is over. Boston does not convert. So they're 0 for 4 on the power play now in this game tonight. Hines got knocked down. Boston still in the offensive zone. Rieke puts the check on. Anson Carter feigns him off for the moment up to Van Imp. Nope, never got to it. Brought back out through center. Nice move by Nikolic, who's played a strong game. Left it, shot wide by Gonchar. Rebound, comes all the way out to center. Rieke will come back to get it.
Sergei Gonchar has the youngest legs and the best skating legs of the Caps defenseman. With Bondra out of the lineup, if they can get him up to generate offense as he's been doing in the first 3 games, they're in business.
Remember Peter Bondra, the latest scorer for Washington, missing a twisted ankle. Second period of game 1. He missed game 2, and he's missing game 3. Yet the Capitals have the 2-0 lead. Centering pass blocked back into the middle. Turn around. Simon, his shot blocked into the corner. Van Imp. You see the Caps are winning the battle. Pavonka sent around to the near side. Capitals Simon over to get it. Simon pushed from behind by Van Imp. Simon blocked the attempted clear. Comes back, top of the circle. Pavonka dropped it. Simon poke checked away. Out to center, Langdon Wilson. Wilson up. Shot on, save made. That's what's happening. Nikolic cleared it out. Kyle McLaren the opportunity, but those are not shots you're going to score on. They are being seen by Olaf Kolzig, and he's just knocking them away.
Yeah, he's stopping the ones he doesn't see.
The Capitals have a 2-0 lead. Shot 17-13 in favor of the Bruins, but Adam Oates, the former Boston Bruin, both goals for the Caps.
Can we use a rigid ladder-type frame to reach new heights in performance? Can the cab-forward concept create more room, even in the trunk? When it comes to what you'll expect down the road, do we have things pretty well covered? These are the questions. This is the answer. Dodge Stratus. Starting under 14.4, 18.4 impressively equipped.
Let me know that love is really real, but it seems to me that I'm wrapped up in love. Don't you know that I'm still in love, shut up in love with you, yeah.
Capitals with a 2-0 lead in this game. 12:54 to go in the second period.
The former Boston Bruins are slowly taking the Bruins down. Adam Oates with 2 goals. Joey Junot with an assist. Remember, these are the guys that teamed up for the double overtime goal that sunk the Boston Bruins here in Game 3.
Face off to the left side of Kolzig. One back to Ledyard. Ledyard held it in. Landon Wilson. Kristich in the corner. Tenorti tied him up. Tenorti, Wilson. Wilson comes away with the puck. But again, Boston, when they have control of it, they're playing along the wall, and you do not score goals when you're just shooting the puck along the boards. They want to get it out in front, create some activity. They're not been able to do that here in this game. Van Baumgartner tied up behind the net. Wilson tied up. Wilson with Hunter on his back. Up to the point. Ledyard again. Ledyard dumped it back into the corner. Langdon Wilson trying to center. Kalle Johansson blocked it. Johansson on the pickup. Off the boards and out. And in fact, all the way out. Came up and over, and we'll draw the whistle. I want to remind you that the National Car Rental Racing Across America, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, the Kentucky Derby post-position draw. A new format, as they will be drawing for the positioning of those horses. Friday at 5, Kentucky Oaks, female counterpart of the Derby. 3-year-old fillies compete. Saturday at 2, a Kentucky Derby special. Continuing coverage from Churchill Downs in the Race to the Roses. Have a mint julep, settle back.
How do they draw for that?
Well, they reach into a bottle and pull out numbers. And whatever you get, that's where the horses go. Cleared around by Joey Junot on the far side from Phil Housley. Tipped back in the middle by Ray Bork. chase and catches. Axelson coming in. Axelson shot and wide. Off the heel of the stick. Ray Bohr back for Axelson. You see some of the speed that Boston can generate here on this line as they try and churn it up. Axelson dropped it back near side. McLaren came up to help. Gill dumped it back into the middle. And it'll be cleared out of the zone. Washington avoiding that one. Juno takes the hit from Mayo at center. Stood each other up. Intercepted. Oates in front. Juno, and that one was blocked. Juno was wide open momentarily and blocked at the last instant as he wound up.
And was rolling. I mean, the ammunition was headed his way, but it wouldn't settle down.
Axelson cleared that one. Boston trying to get a line change here. Near side for Gonchar to the red. Tipped in by Esa Tikkanen. Tikkanen sent it in deep. The 33-year-old Esa Tikkanen, 71 goals in 168 playoff games. Those 71 goals are the 9th most in playoff history, goal-wise. And there he is. Tikkanen leaves it in the middle, intercepted again. Hanson Carter turns it to Allison. Allison, again, no one open in the middle. They're forced to go down low. Ricky cleared it around. McLaren came over and couldn't hold it in. Burns got to wait as they'll have to clear the zone. Kyle McLaren. He and Ledger are out there defensively right now. 10:39 to go, second period. McLaren has to go back for this pass off the boards. Never got to it. Allison had to play it to Hines. Hines moves it up. Hines, Ledger the trailer. Hines tried to dish it around, couldn't. Shot right back out of the zone by Todd Krieger. Washington right now is controlling this game. This next goal is enormous, the way the game's being played. Ricky dropped it off. Carter looking to center it. Hines, tied up, turnaround, shot, saved by Kolzig when he was down on the ice. Anson Carter had Kolzig down and couldn't pick it up. Shot saved from a point on McLaren by Kolzig.
Well, Olaf Kolzig has officially become the big story in this series.
And in the other series, the big story, John Saunders.
Well, Gary, the big story brought to you by the new Dodge is that the Devils, the wheels are just coming off of this thing. McEachran, watch the speed as he burns to the net. Alfredson alone in front because Andrew Chuck let him go. 2-1 Ottawa.
I don't believe what I'm seeing, as Jack Buck once said.
We knew there were going to be upsets. We just didn't know where they were going to be, and it's not over yet. However, yep, got a Bruins player over on this side of the screen. What's going to happen? He's going to end up with it. That's Jason Allison. He started the play going. What a save by Olaf Kolzig. I mean, he's 225 pounds, 6'3", and he scooted over there like he was about a $150 to get horizontal and to stack the pads to take away as much as he could, and the shot came right where he wanted it to, low.
Those things really add up in a game, those kinds of saves, because a team like the Bruins will try and get too fine in shooting, believing they just can't find a way to get it by. Van Imp moves it in. Bernardi on it. Dropped off along the boards. Joe Thornton, the 19-year-old. 3 goals, 4 assists in 55 games for Thornton. He sent it. Christick! Kolzig again with a save. And again, the Bruins just shoot it right into Kolzig. Thornton dumps it into the corner. Christick over. Ivanka, he wants a clear, and he gets it. And it won't be icing. Boston back to get it. Washington will change this one up. Near side to Van Imp. Van Imp dumps it wide. Kolzig knocked it down. Tenorti's got it. Tenorti spun it up the near side. Bellows and went over his head. Ray Bohr. Bohr, the rink wide. And in the zone, Boston way offside. Thornton had not come out.
You know, the best thing from a Washington standpoint is that these young Boston legs have not been able to keep him pinned down in their own end. I mean, Olaf Kolzig's defensemen have done a great job of containing and then dumping the puck up high off the glass, get it out of the zone. Calle Johansson, Phil Housley, Mark Tenorti, the older defensemen that play in front of Olaf Kolzig will tire as this game goes along if Boston can keep that big forecheck going. But they're doing a great job of diffusing and getting it out. This is the technically perfect again. Down, no 5-0. Olaf Kolzig keeps his stick in front of him, as well as any goalie in the game, to take away any daylight between the pads.
Kristich tried to go that way, and there was nothing to shoot at. Simon on the centering pass. Juno to Simon. Oates, rather, and Oates tipped that one wide. Adam Oates coming back through the middle had the opportunity. Take it away at center, Axelson. Axelson moves it in. Axelson, a trailer. DeMaio goes back on top shot. Borg, and another huge save! Olaf Kolzig on Ray
the Bruins get their chances. But the Washington Caps are playing it exactly the way they want to. Standing people up in the neutral zone. This is Brendan Witt on Tim Taylor. That's how you stand a guy up. Right there, baby.
Buying and selling stocks can cost you a substantial amount of money in commissions if you're trading with the wrong brokerage company. But if you know what you want, cut the costs. Trade equities with stocks for less for only $8 per trade for market orders. Only $8 to trade equity shares using your computer through the Stocks for Less website. Only $8 to trade any listed or NASDAQ stock. Only $8 using any touch-tone phone. Only $8 for market orders. And there's no limit to the amount of shares you can buy or sell. Stocks for Less may be the simplest, smartest way to trade, and it may save you a bundle. If you're an active trader who knows what you want, if you can use a computer or a touch-tone phone, why trade any other way? Why pay more? Make it simple. Only $8 per trade. Call 888-414-5377 or enter our website at www.stocksforless.com and cut the costs of trading on the stock market. Call now. Stocks for Less. 888-414-5377. Only $8 per trade. Now.
Olaf Kolzig's last save. First time in this game, I don't think he was exactly in the position that he wanted. Watch him step over into the middle of the net, but look, he's not quite in the middle. He leaves a lot of net up on this side, but it doesn't matter. When you've got a 6'3" frame and those long arms, you can get to those. That's the first time he hasn't shuffled to exactly in the middle of the net when the shot was coming for the middle, but he trusted his glove hand, and it worked.
Raymond Bourque had that chance. Face off to the left side of Kolzig. 2-0. Capitals on top. One back by Esatika. Not out of the zone yet. Steve Hines helped to hold it in. Gonchar going back to get it behind his own net. Gonchar got pinned up and got it out. Bourque knocked it down. Hines back to Raymond Bourque, who tips it to Gill. Al Gill, one of the rookies on this spot. Thornton, Axelson, Samsonov, Gill, all rookies in play. Down low pass. Aerial pass wide. Jason Allison. And there goes the net as Kolzig got run into by his own man.
Sure did. Kelly Miller was really hard on the back check. And when the play peeled off, Kelly didn't. He peeled right into Olaf Kolzig. Hit him pretty hard back into the net. A number of years ago, before these nets popped off, that might have been a problem, but not for Big Ole the goalie. Kelly Miller was a hit. Incoming from our goal camp.
The Marsh pegs, the hard rubber pegs that are now used in place of the iron pipe. They're down underneath there. They're just hard rubber, about 6 inches long. They go into the ice and up into the post there. They've got enough give so that on a hard hit they move. You don't just tap it off, though. Off the face-off and behind the net, Allison again. Allison, another win on the draw, tried to center, taken away by Kalle Johansson. Johansson looking for Oates in center. Oates along the board, just had that one fly away from him. Bourque was there, hit by Brian Bellows. Bruins back 3-on-3, down the middle. Allison centering pass. Far side Carter. Carter leaves it. Ray Bourque will shoot it, and it's blocked out deep. Juneau is right there in front of him, picked up by Steve Hines. Hines trying to send it. Juneau on the intercept, leaves it at center. Bellows came back to help out. Good pass by Bellows to Oates. Cleared in. Ray Bourque blocked the centering pass. Ledyard there. Ledyard got it around to Hines. Hines tipped it by Bellows and just over the blue. Batted away by Allison. Boston wants to change it up. Capitals leading 2-0. 21-13 the shots in favor of the Bruins. They've had that advantage throughout, but Adam Oates has the 2 goals for the Washington Capitals. Brian Bellows in the corner. Bellows tied up by Christian. Bellows doing battle, tipped it away. Brian Bellows played in Berlin, Germany, for the Berlin Capitals. How about that? Then came back, and the Capitals said, hey, we think we can use you in the playoffs. And he has had a great finish for this team. Back the other way, Thornton. Save made by Kolzig. That one goes up and over the glass.
Be tough for young Joe Thornton to drift one by Olaf Kolzig from the blue line. But what are you going to do? They haven't been able to do anything else. If he works it in on a one-on-one, maybe he gets a little chip shot from a sharp angle. So drive it at Kolzig and then drive for the rebound. Here's the difference in age in these two teams. Guys over 30, Washington 17 players on the roster, Boston 6. That's why you figure as games get long and as overtimes come along, the game favors the Boston Bruins. But in this game, they got to get to OT because they're down 2-0. Tikkanen's got an equipment problem over there.
The way he plays the game, there's always something falling off over there. Thornton will take the face-off. for Boston. What a tough year for the 19-year-old rookie. #1 draft pick last year. You don't just come on and play in this league the way they expected him to.
Especially as an 18-year-old. He's still 18.
Yeah, that's tough. Brought back in by Pivonka, centered. Simon, the shot deflected by McLaren in the corner. Simon, McLaren, Thornton were all there. Pivonka spin around. Defoe will have to cover up the centering pass. 6:38 left here in this second period. Our Head and Shoulders storyline here on National Hockey Night. Oates, 2 goals tonight. 4-game point streak now. The Bruins outscored 8-2 in the first 2 periods in this series. And Kolzig, he has been magnificent again.
Our Head and Shoulders replay, a guy that's having a big night. The former Bruin Adam Oates. He can score him in bunches of ways. He can rip him to the top corner, and he can just bank him in off pads on little redirection. It's Adam Oates 2, and the Boston Bruins nothing right now.
Juneau got the assist on the first one. Kelly Johansson and Phil Housley the assists here in this period at 2:42. And the power play goal, 16-10 of the first in the 4-on-4. Face-off will be coming here to the left side of Byron Defoe. Nicolation moves in to take the face-off for the Caps against Mike Sullivan. Sullivan won the draw on his own end. Ledger behind the net. Remember, both these teams have to battle through double overtime games. The last 2 games they've played. Both of them. Pivonka. Pivonka pinned up by Ledger. Simon came over. Simon hit over there by Sullivan. Sullivan up the board. Not out of there. Simon again. Let it go to Pivonka. He centered, shot Nicolation, and that one's blocked. Up and out of play by Dave Ellett.
You know, Chris Simon this morning was told that he would just be spotted. I said to him jokingly, yeah, that happened to me a couple times. You come back injured, the coach said, just going to spot you. 20 minutes of ice time later, your tongue is hanging down to your knees, and Chris Simon has played a lot and looks pretty darn good doing it. And when he gets close to the net, nobody can move him. It looks like Pat Burns is trying to get big Kyle McLaren out there against him. McLaren was out there on the last shift, but even with McLaren out there, when Simon puts up his mind to go from point A to point B, he's a force.
Pat Burns, his club down 2-0 here with 6:10 to go in this second period. McLaren out there now. Face off to the right side of Defoe this time. Hasn't taken and won the draw. Tenardi guns it back into the corner. Almost kicks the linesman off that time. McLaren tied up from behind. Lost control, but Hines picked it up. Not out. Kelly Miller held it in. Miller, a great forechecker. McLaren batted it back behind his own net. Bees will try from that side. Cleared out of the zone. There'll be no icing, but it will be played by Kolzig at the other end for Kyle Johansson. Johansson will stop it right there. 5:42 up on the clock. It is running a quiet Fleet Center here in Boston, as the Bruins have not been able to get one by Kolzig, who's made the 22 saves in this game. Tip pass is knocked away at center. Boston lost control. Krieger came up to get it. Sent back in Van Imp. Van Imp. Hines. Hines had it batted away again. Van Imp's got to play it again deeper in the zone. Went behind McLaren. Bellows came up. Great move. 360 got it. Bellows behind the net. Bellows tried to center as he got knocked down. Boston just no transition game right now. Johansson out there intercepting. Boston's just working at center on these passes that are not connected. Carter trying to move it in. Juneau rides him out of the play.
Can't even get the puck in deep. I mean, that's how good a job Washington is doing.
And then Washington gets it to the red line and sends it in. Gill comes back to get it. Gill off the glass, far side. DeMaio just tipped that one out of there. Brought back up on the left wing side, Taylor. Taylor turning. Taylor tried to center. Bellows there. Juneau on the far side. Got it by Ray Moore. Gill back to get it again. Gill. Gill goes back to Ray Moore. Gill along his own blue line. Again through center. Blocked. Axelson got it into the zone. Gonchar will give chase. Gonchar held up by Rob DeMaio. Good play by DeMaio to hold that puck up. Taylor back to it. Axelson spinning around. Center shot. Saved by Kolzig again. Tim Taylor was there alone, and it went between the pads, but not across the line. The Capitals leading it 2-0, and for Pat Burns in the city of Boston, the sun has set, and so may be their season.
2 magazines, 1 double espresso, $12. Khaki pants, $45. Work boots, $85. Realizing you're unzipped before anyone else does? Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted all over. Even coffee bars.
Well, there's Joe Reekie, one of the veteran defensemen for the Washington Caps, and his coach, Ron Wilson, has great confidence in him. Wilson likes the defenseman in front of the net. There's 29 blue in front. But the question is, when you're in front, do you play the guy behind, or do you turn around and play the guy coming from in front of Olaf Kolzig? And that time, Joe Reekie kind of got caught in between, and Tim Taylor still trying to find a way, any Bruin, to get it by Kolzig.
They've got the shots. They don't have the goals. McLaren behind the net. Tip pass intercepted, swung around, not out. Ray Bork. He gunned it in wide. Chased down by Berube. Berube sends it out, and Bork will come back to get it.
A safe play every time. Capitals chip it out, get to the red line, chip it in. They've got a 2-0 lead. I'll tell you something else. They are not backing up on their forecheck. Guys like Kelly Miller just got those pistons turning, and they're doing a great job of eating up the clock on the forecheck.
They hold it in again. Second time. Kelly Johansson sent that one in wide again. Berube and Bork. Bork got it out of there. Centering pass comes to Thornton. Thornton with Bork in the middle. Thornton to Bork. Off wing side. Shot save. Kolzig hangs on. Now Thornton gets into it in front with Witt. Witt quickly backs away.
Smartly backs away. I mean, the Bruins need something. They need a mode change here. They need a momentum change in the worst way. And Joe Thornton looked like he was ready to go with Brendan Witt, who doesn't mind dropping the gloves and fighting. However, with a 2-0 lead, not the time. There is a time and a place for everything. This is just the end of a little set-to between Ken Klee of the Caps and Dmitry Kristich, who almost ended up in the Washington bench. As that was going on, Ray Bork came down and had a shot. Even the shots that on some goalies look dangerous don't look dangerous at all now on Olaf Kolzig. I mean, do any shots look like they're threatening him?
Not even close. Not even close on Olaf Kolzig. Kolzig, 2.2 goals against during the regular season, .920 save percentage, 4th best in the league. Had 5 shutout, played in 64 games. This is his 16th consecutive game in net, starting for the Capitals. Dave Ellett in behind his own net. With 3:16 to go in this period, the Bruins desperately need to get at least one here. Cleared up through center to Steve Hines. Gonchar hitting. Dumped back into the zone. Chased down, Allison center. Deflects in the middle. No shot, though. Bouncing puck. Couldn't be controlled. Brad Ledyard, the man who tried to knock it down for a shot, but it just wouldn't sit. Ledyard back. Of course, for the remainder of these playoffs and for years to come, any team down in a playoff game will refer to last night's game. St. Louis, L.A. Kolzig again knocked it away. McLaren. His pass blocked. Back to McLaren, but he moved to the middle. McLaren and Pavonka do battle. Reekie's got it. Reekie sends it up, not out. McLaren knocks it down. His shot. Kolzig, another save, and no rebound for Jason Allison.
Boy, it is so hard for the Bruins even to generate chances now because Washington has a presence in just about every zone. The forecheck in the offensive zone, and just great tenacity and positioning in the neutral zone by the Washington Caps. Last time the Bruins came down, the Capitals were in the neutral zone. You see 3 Caps on this side of the ice, but here's one of the Caps defensemen. He's going to stand up. What happens? His defense partner comes all the way over to back him up. This forward comes over to back up the play. And all of a sudden, the Caps have 5 guys on that side of the ice and just chopped it up and were able to eliminate everybody on that side of the ice.
Dominating the game right now with that 2-0 lead and protecting it very well. Not giving the Bruins any of those odd man rush opportunities, and their forecheckers held the puck in. Boston this time held it in, but Kelly Johansson picks up the loose puck after Van Impe gunned it in from the blue. And up the near side and out of the zone. Kelly Johansson. Oates kicked that one away to Van Imp. Van Imp back through center. Bruins, Taylor. Taylor up for Axelson. Kelly Johansson's got position. Round far side for Juno. Ray Bork stepped up. Joey Juno played that well, lost it. Back to Ray Bork. Bork shot wide. Juno stepped right up into the face of Ray Bork. Bellows clears it out.
And that's it for the attack. I mean, the Washington Capitals are doing as good a job as any team can do of keeping the play to the outside. The Boston Bruins have not had the middle of the ice in any zone.
Not even on the power play were they able to do that. Gonchar back in his own zone. A minute 42 left to go here in the period. Update coming on that game being played in Ottawa, where the New Jersey Devils are during our second intermission. Highlights and an update on the score. That one sent in up and over the glass. And don't forget tonight, more Stanley Cup coverage on the Deuce. Tonight at 10:30, Phoenix will try and go up 3-1 in their series against the defending Stanley Cup champion Detroit Red Wings. You'll see that game at 10:30, Game 4 from Phoenix. That's on the Deuce.
The Boston Bruins, we mentioned in our open, desperately wanted the lead in this series. They wanted to keep this crowd in the game. This crowd has not had a chance to jump in at all. 2 minutes and 20 seconds is the total lead time so far in this entire four-game series. 4+ with the overtimes, the double overtimes.
They are down here 2-0. Only a minute 30 left to go in the period. Esa Tikkanen will come back out. Thornton at center for Boston. They exchange a few stick snaps. Shane Higher chases Thornton. Kristich moves in. Won it back to Ledyard. Dropped in on the far side. McLaren. Ricky trying to get it out. Couldn't. Thornton held it in. Goes behind the net to Ricky. And it's batted away by Samsonov. Again McLaren. But again, center of the ice. They move it there. Deflected away by Miller. Shot Ledyard. Blocked by Miller. Ledyard dropped it in. A minute 7 to go here in the period. Sergei Samsonov, the rookie, goes on top to Ledyard. Doesn't take it. This is not a power play. A minute to go in the period. Kristich lost it. Cleared out of the zone. Gone shot. Miller back the other way. Miller stood up by McLaren and then taken down. Centering pass deflected. Capitals. Miller on the check. Boston. Kristich turning in his own zone. Kristich trying to come through center himself here. Dmitry Kristich in. Double team. Just lost control. Tried to do too much on his own that time. Lost control of the puck.
Gary, that was one of the only times I can remember this game that a Bruin was allowed to carry the puck up the middle. It was a 3-on-3, and the D backed in, but what saved it? Great back-checking by Todd Krieger. I mean, the Caps are doing everything right defensively.
Allison got it in, and a tripping penalty coming right there as Anson Carter got tripped. So with 18 seconds to go in the second period, the Boston Bruins will get a power play here to end this period, trailing 2-0. They'll take it. But not much time to use it here in this period.
Take whatever they can get right now. Maybe it's the best way to start the third period if they can come out and get one. Talked in this game about the Capitals defensemen trying to stand the Bruins forwards up in the neutral zone. When they haven't been able to, they've been forced to back in a little bit. There's the guy that wears that job piece, Sergei Gonchar. You can see he was kind of flat-footed. He wasn't up on the play, but he still was able to take Kristich and move him to the side enough to delay his forward progress long enough for Krieger to come back and help with the back check. Kelly Miller went the other way. Kelly Miller has had one incredible hockey game, especially on the forecheck. Boy, oh boy.
Kelly Nicolishin is gone. The tripping came 1941. Power play number 5 for the Bruins. 0 for 4 here tonight. Face-off will come to the left side of Colson. Bork back along the boards at the point. Adam Oates on the draw. Pavanga. That one just cleared out of the zone, but ended up going in the seats. That's a break right there for the Bruins. Joey Juno trying to clear that out of there, but missed it.
Yeah, with 14 seconds to go, I'm sure Juno was saying, ooh, I hope that doesn't cost me, because those are the kind of little things that can unfold into a nightmare for the defensive players. Joey Juno had all kinds of time just to bank that off the boards and down, and he cleared it over the boards into the Bruins bench.
Another one of these tough draws now back along that blue line. Jason Allison wants to hold this in if he can. Adam Oates just wants to push it outside the blue. see Allison creeping up there. Try and drive Juneau back. Another big win on the draw. Van Imp leads it. Ray Bork, the shot. That hit Olaf Kolzig in the mask. Big win on the face-off, but again unable to get it by him. Cleared out of the zone, and that's going to be the second period. The Bruins will have 1:41 left on the power play to start the third, but Kolzig 27 saves. A shutout going. Oates 2 goals in this game has given the Washington Capitals a 2-0 lead, and the Bruins down 2-1 need a big third period. Capitals 2, Bruins nothing. Take it back to John and Barry.
Down 2-1. More importantly, they could be down 3-1 in this series. You go back to the overtime winner. Adam Oates set that up, and he has the 2 goals tonight.
Well, I think the key, too, is that they never got many offensive chances in Game 2. Adam Oates realized that Bondra is not on Adam Oates' line. So Adam Oates is one of the smartest players I've ever played with. He realized that he has to shoot more. You're seeing that tonight. He gets 2 goals because Bondra's not on his line for him to feed. He realized that he's got to be the guy to get the puck to the net, and it's working.
All right, it's been a wild year thus far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll continue to give you a look at it. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Avalanche against Edmonton. This one is Joe Sakic looks to go up 3-1, and Ottawa is giving the Devils all they can handle.